why the world want me to cry?
What if DC heroes could fuse? Video by Beware. Let's go ahead, bro. Let's dive right in.
What if Superman and the Flash fused together into a single hero?
I ain't gonna lie, he would be the most unstoppable character in all of creation, bro. Like, you got the epitome of what Invincible is supposed to be, and then you got the fastest thing ever created merging together into one. Ain't nobody beating that. What?
Green Lantern and Green Arrow, or Batman and Wonder Woman. What would these fusions look like? How would they act? And just
Batman and Wonder Woman, wouldn't that just be like, I'm not even finna say what I want to say.
powerful would they be? Let's start with Superman and the Flash.
Yeah, let's get into
To
it.
understand what this new fused character would look like, we need to understand our two fusers. Fusees? Anyway, Superman is, at his core, the kind of person we should all aspire to be. He has incredible power and exclusively uses it for the good of others. His Kryptonian biology allows him to absorb the radiation of our yellow sun and use it to fuel his various superpowers. Flight, strength, super speed, invulnerability, heat vision, freeze breath, and about a dozen other weirdo powers from the Golden Age.
Right.
Like shooting a smaller Superman out of his hand. Yeah, he really did that. But beyond his power,
There's no way that's an ability of his. There's no way. I feel like they get this man new updates every year. What? He shoots a mini version of him out of his hands? Who's the writer, bro? Who's the author?
Clark is a very well-meaning, down-to-earth, small-town farm boy. He tries to see the good in everybody and has a very strong moral compass. Sometimes that means it's easy to rage bait him, but he never acts out of vengeance. He's better than that because he has to be. He's Superman. Then we have the Flash. I'm going with Barry Allen, the crime scene investigator who joined the force to help solve his mother's murder. He's a total dork with a brain for chemistry and physics who was gifted the perfect power set to match his science knowledge when a bolt of lightning struck him and a shelf of various chemicals binding him to the Speed Force, an extra-dimensional energy field that powers all movement throughout the multiverse. Barry can channel that power to move faster than any other living being in existence, running faster than sound, light, and even time. And using his science nerd brain, he's created several of his own impossible techniques, vibrating his molecules at the right frequency to phase through solid objects, redirecting the electricity he generates to throw like a projectile, and moving at
Bruh, Flash is the definition of if you run fast enough, you can solve any problem. That's literally his superpower, bro. Just, if I run faster, it would all be fixed. Like, seriously, man. Like, how many people do you know that can actually beat the Flash? You know what I'm saying? And no, I don't think that Superman can keep up with him. I don't even know why that's an argument, for real. That's just me personally. Don't come at me in the comment sections. You got the person who's the epitome of speed. You know what I'm saying? Superman's supposed to be the epitome of I can do anything. But he ain't faster than this man. Not at all.
the speed of light to gain infinite mass for an impossibly devastating punch. Superman and the Flash are some of the heaviest hitters in all of DC, so what does it look like when the two merge into one? You get something blindingly bright. Sunbolt. With all the strength...
I don't know if I like that name, but I'm gonna let it rock.
Both Clark and Barry, Sunbolt has all the physiological benefits of a Kryptonian biology and a connection to the Speed Force.
He's just a faster Superman. That's technically what it is. Well, Superman tapped into the Speed Force. Know what I mean?
He can run and fly with speed equal to the Flash, able to perform all the feats Barry can on the ground and also while out in the vacuum of space.
Hey, yo, you know what? Now that we're really diving into it, yeah, this is the most broken character in all of fiction right here.
Meaning he can fly across the universe in a second, just vibrating his molecules to pass through any planets or stars that might get in his way. If he's ever placed under the light of a red sun or exposed to kryptonite, his connection to the Speed Force doesn't waver, so he's never truly left vulnerable. And in a pinch, he can speed steal, a Flash ability that saps the Speed Force from other people, slowing them down to increase his own speed.
And then not just that, he has Superman strength, so he's technically one of the strongest speedsters ever created. Let that sink in.
But Sunbolt can then convert that stolen Speed Force energy into solar energy to supercharge his strength, freeze breath, or a special power even Superman doesn't have, electric vision, firing bolts of lightning from his eyes. Now, I know he sounds like a peerless deity of destruction, but actually he's more like a living photon, a bolt of light. All of Barry's more nerdy tendencies are amplified by Clark's social obliviousness, making him really spacey as he tends to drift off mid-conversation as he gets distracted by a wayward thought. Like that one time he thought it might
So basically he has ADHD times like 100, essentially.
To estimate how many grains of sand are on Earth and then actually go count them to see how close he was. And his curiosity would definitely convince him to try to experiment on a sliver of kryptonite to discover a way to remove the glowing green crystal's radioactive qualities. Hey, speaking of glowing green, next let's do Flash and Green Lantern.
Oh, we just combining Flash with everybody.
Jordan is the one I'm going with. I think Barry would actually fuse really well with John Stewart as well, but I wanted to give every hero mention 2 fusions, and you'll see why with the next one that it needed to be Hal.
Okay.
And besides, Barry and Hal have a great friendship, so a combo between them is still gonna be sick. So let's talk Hal. Often considered the greatest Green Lantern, Hal Jordan is a cocky, headstrong, smart-mouthed test pilot who, despite watching his own father die in a plane crash, fights his...
I'm gonna be honest with you, I never found Green Lantern interesting. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have some hate, but like, it just is what it is. Like, he just never interests me as a character, if I'm gonna be real.
Every day to get in a plane and test his limits. This ability to overcome fear is why he was chosen to wield a Green Lantern ring, an alien tech magic superweapon created by the Guardians of Oa. It uses the willpower of the wearer to generate hard light constructs of anything they can imagine. Spaceships, monster trucks, a T-Rex, heat-seeking missiles, or just really big fists. Green Lantern can make it all, along with intergalactic flight, enhanced strength, speed, and defense. He could even make a giant green thumbs up, just like that like button down there that you should totally click.
Hey, I heard of...
Hypothetically, a GL ring can do anything, but you can only do the really wacky stuff if your well of willpower is equally infinite. Luckily, that's Hal to a T. So what do we get when we cross the Emerald Knight and the Scarlet Speedster? This is Lightspeed. As a speedster and Green Lantern, Lightspeed's main mode of transportation is creating his own ground to run on as he blasts through space far faster than his ring could carry him. And with Barry's mind and Speed Force abilities, he figures out how to unlock new, unthought-of modifications for his light constructs, like being able to phase them through other objects, grant them infinite mass like his punches to deal maximum damage without risking any injury to his body.
Okay, I see the vision. I see it. I see where we're going.
And using the ring's light as an extension of his body to speed steal from giant swaths of enemies all at once. And using the ring's power in tandem with his CSI knowledge, he can run thousands of simulations by recreating crime scenes exactly, over and over again at the speed of light. Of course, this intelligence is mixed with Hal's cockiness, meaning Lightspeed is the smartass supreme. He loves to correct people and talk himself up using objective facts and figures. That said, in terms of just using his lantern ring, he's actually slightly less powerful than Hal on his own, because Barry still has powerful fear in his heart from the night his mother was killed. Even though he's faced that fear and battled Reverse Flash countless times now, he's not as good as Hal at completely conquering it. So instead of 100% willpower, the ring has like 95. For our next GL fusion...
5%. What's the difference? Well, what are we gonna notice with 5%?
Reason I had to go with Hal, we have Green Arrow. Oliver Queen, the billionaire archery marksman extraordinaire who can never stop running his mouth or sticking up for the little guy, the modern-day Robin Hood. Ollie is always talking smack and making quips, despite the fact that he's on the same Justice League as gods and monsters. He backs up all his jokes with a giant array of trick arrows, explosives, nets, microphones, flashbangs, magnets, gas grenades, and even the infamous boxing glove. If you can stick it on the end of an arrow, Oliver has probably fired it at least once. And when he fires, he does not miss. He's got perfect aim, not to mention a mastery at hand-to-hand combat. All of it to service his never-ending fight for the people. Ollie considers himself a very outspoken political leftist, hypercritical of the wealthy and all established powers, as he was born into the billionaire Queen family and saw the worst of the upper crust before his time as a superhero. This made him a perfect foil for Hal Jordan, the square-jawed 1970s California Republican and badge-wearing space cop, which they often clashed over on their team-up book, Hard Traveling Heroes. These two are great friends, allies, rivals, and often at each other's
They're both green too, I just realized that.
which means their fusion will burn that much brighter. This is Brightshot. Both the Emerald Archer and Emerald Knight, Brightshot is possibly the most confident a person can be without developing a complex. He fights with an infinite supply of light construct arrows, often making up totally new trick weapons on the fly. Someone's drowning? Life Preserver arrow. Fighting a swarm of alien bugs? Homing arrow that explodes into 1,000...
This man got literally the definition of just cheat codes. Literally, whatever he thinks of to shoot, that's what comes out. You feel me? Literally, he lives in creative mode. He got explosive arrows. He got elephant arrows. He got fruit arrows. Any arrow you think of, he got it. Light, thunder, fire, just cuz. Real talk.
Or homing arrows. And with Oliver's perfect aim, combined with Hal's willpower and the ring, Brightshot can hit a target anywhere, including halfway across the galaxy. He's got all of Green Arrow's martial arts skill with Hal's complete inability to give up, making him a nightmare to fight even without using his...
I just realized he might be, I can't say the most tactical fighter, but he will be very annoying to fight because he got the Green Arrow ring and he don't miss. He can spawn bows if he wants to from any direction. You feel me? And you're going to get hit. I just realized that. So yeah, this would be a very interesting character right here.
Personality-wise, his cockiness is always on display, and he will always speak his mind no matter the situation. But when it comes to politics, Ollie definitely affects his mindset a little bit more, although he still believes in a lot of Hal's principles. So what's halfway between the left and the right? You got it, he's a libertarian. Next up, someone I know Ollie would actually want to fuse with, the love of his life and badass songbird vigilante of Gotham, Dinah Lance, the Black Canary. Daughter of a vigilante and a police officer, she was pushed away from a life of crime fighting by her mother after her father was killed in the line of duty. But she couldn't resist her deeply instilled sense of justice, made even more powerful when she manifested the metahuman ability of the Canary Cry, a sonic scream that can be fired at multiple frequencies, quiet enough to cause simple headaches or disorient criminals, and powerful enough to shatter apart concrete. As Black Canary, she has a mastery of martial arts and acrobatics, but she's all about precision and practicality. She actually prefers to end fights hand-to-hand without using her vocal powers, so she doesn't get rusty.
She like, yeah, I could just blow you away. Literally, I could do that. But, I'd rather, go out in a respectable, honorable way by giving you these hands.
On them too much. She can come off as stubborn, which makes sense because Dinah is very no-nonsense and disciplined, although she also has a deep well of empathy and interpersonal skill, making her an excellent leader and emotional resource for other heroes. She's perfect at grounding the much more hot-headed Green Arrow, and Ollie brings out the more fun side of her personality. They complete each other, just like how you would finally feel complete if you subscribed and joined my channel membership, where you'd get to see videos like these weeks in advance. But the way Ollie and Dinah complete each other is why their fusion is so effective. Together, they make Feather. Feather has the combined...
Feather, interesting.
fighting skills of two of the top vigilantes in the verse, putting her on a similar skill level to Cassandra Cain or Lady Shiva. She's got all of Oliver's creativity with Dinah's cool head and leadership skills, making her a beast both solo and on a team. She does fight primarily with her bow and canary cry, but she also has specifically crafted resonance arrows that sort of act like a Wi-Fi extender, transferring her voice and redirecting it around corners, letting her set up intricate traps mid-fight and blast her enemies from behind with a ricochet of sound waves. Now, I do need to address the question of what happens when you fuse two characters of different genders. You could make them androgynous, but I prefer that the sex of the new character is defined by whoever has the more dominant personality between the two, which in this case is definitely Dinah. Dinah's influence also means that Ollie's trash talk gets curbed quite a bit, but only while the fight is happening. Feather is the kind that keeps her mouth shut right up until she wins, and then she's gloating your ear off. Oh, and Feather is a super smart name, right? Because canaries are birds with feathers and
yeah, we got you. We hear you.
The feathers at the end. I thought it was clever. Shut up. At least it's better than Canaro. Next up, let's give Dinah a major power boost and fuse her with Wonder Woman. Princess Diana of Themyscira is an Amazonian warrior of peace, molded for and blessed by the gods. She left her island home for man's world to act as a hero and ambassador, squashing conflict and protecting the innocent to uphold the values of truth and joy. She's incredibly strong and fast, super durable, can fly, and has a cache of magical tools gifted by the Greek pantheon. Her tiara and bracers are indestructible, able to deflect anything or be thrown like a projectile. She also wields the Golden Perfect, the lasso of truth. This unbreakable
She just got an arsenal on her, man. Like
can bind her enemies and compel them to tell the truth, making lying
I know about the
impossible.
lasso.
At her heart, Diana is empowered entirely by love for her sisters, all peoples, and creation itself. Probably the most nurturing member of the League, often depicted by her ability to speak to animals and her affinity for children. This is balanced with her competitive nature and adventurousness. She's like a big kid herself, flowing with wonder and joy to learn about man's world and help raise it up to meet its true potential. So, how does that mix with Dinah's more practical and straightforward personality? We get the Amazonian bird of prey, Warcry. With all the strength and powers of Wonder Woman, Warcry also has the benefit of the Canary Cry, amplified tremendously by Diana's much more powerful lungs. Sort of like Marvel's Black Bolt, when she goes all out, her sonic screams can shake the whole world.
But now since she got the power of Wonder Woman, she can do that more often, you see? So, yeah, that means a lot of people are going deaf. That's what that means.
And beyond that, when she's holding onto the lasso of truth, she can channel its power through the cry, magically empowering her to compel the truth more secretly. A whisper in your ear, or an inconspicuous greeting right to your face, and suddenly you're spilling everything to her and you don't know why. That same cry can be deflected off of her bracers, taking out an enemy behind her while her hands are busy tying up another. And just like how Diana's powers elevate Dinah's, her personality does too. Dinah plays in a band as a hobby, and she can be snarky sometimes, but she's fairly reserved as a person. With Wonder Woman's endless joy and energy, Warcry becomes a punk rock, treating her fights like chances to show off for the adoring audience. She's not vain, but she does recognize her popularity and does her best to use it to influence people to be better, and she will absolutely throw concerts for charity events. But we can temper Diana's bright personality with something darker, like the Dark Knight himself. Bruce Wayne is the Batman. Gotham.
Man, if you give Batman anybody's superpowers, you know what I'm saying? You just create more of a threat. The only thing that I don't like about the Batman, you know what I'm saying, fan base, I will say, is the amount of glaze that they give this man. Sometimes y'all be doing way too much. I'm gonna just keep it a bean.
Protector who chose to dedicate his life and immense wealth to cleaning his city of all crime after his parents were murdered over the petty theft as a child. He's traveled the world and racked up a mastery of countless studies: criminology, engineering, chemistry, physics, computer science, stealth and espionage, not to mention over 100 different martial arts. He uses all of these skills in tandem with his cutting-edge technology, ninja tools, all-encompassing utility belt, and tactics of fear to wage war on the scum who plague his city. Batman manages to act as a member of the Trinity, including Wonder Woman and Superman, despite his totally mortal mind and body. He's been depicted in a lot of ways, but most versions of Batman are at least a little bit messed up in the head, devoting his entire life to crime fighting, his relationships often suffering from his obsession as he builds contingency plans for everything, including how to take down his friends should they ever turn evil. Despite that, he's pulled back from the brink of self-destruction by those friends. Clark, Diana, and all of his adopted kids have softened Bruce a lot. He's still a hard-ass with an undying mission, but he's also a father and a team member with a dry wit and an easily bruised ego. So when we fuse him with Diana, who's usually far too gracious for anything like that, we get something less like a god from the heavens and more like a beast from the underworld. They become the Under Knight. His name comes from Persephone.
I don't know if I like that name right there. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Under Knight. I feel like we can work on that. Yeah. We need to work on that. Y'all drop down in the comment section what you think this fusion should be. The Under Knight, I'm not really feeling it.
Queen of the underworld, bats were seen as sacred to her. Under Knight is like a superpowered bat gladiator, a magic powerhouse with twin batwing blades. He's meant to look and fight a lot like Kratos from God of War. His Amazonian strength lets him easily best monstrous villains like Killer Croc, Clayface, or Giganta, and his lasso of truth is actually attached to his grapnel gun, which he'll often fire mid-combat to ensnare far-off enemies and pull them close, or swing them around like a flail. Each of his blades is sharpened down to the atom, capable of
He really is just Kratos, isn't he?
Contact with. And his utility belt is full of magical tools, indestructible batarangs that reflect incoming objects just like Diana's gauntlets, along with mythic items like those owned by Absolute Wonder Woman. And of course, the lasso retains its truth-telling powers, which is extremely helpful in Under Knight's detective activities. Because he's half Diana, who wishes to serve all of man's world, Under Knight views the entire planet as his home to clean up from threats, systematically tearing down nation-sized threats like terrorist organizations and gigantic monsters. He keeps all of Batman's fear tactics, but amplified by Wonder Woman's impossible speed and flight, meaning no matter where you are in the world, the terrifying Under Knight could be watching you, ready to cut you down before you can blink. But in the same way, children everywhere know the Under Knight as the ghost they call to when they're in danger. He will always appear to lend a helping hand to any child that calls his name, and never wears his bat helmet in their presence, always there to save them and return them home with a smile and a joke, always spoken perfectly in their native language. Now, before I get to the one I know you all want to see, Batman and Superman.
Yeah, we know how this is about to go.
These fusions work anyway. I went over a few possible options. Firestorm can manipulate matter on an atomic level and does now have the ability to affect living matter. He could theoretically merge two characters, but it would be insanely difficult and require a lot of calculations. A mother box is really good at evolution, teleportation, and affecting organic matter through healing. So I could bet if Cyborg spent enough time with one, he could get it to teleport two characters into each other, fusing them together. And of course, you could also take the easy route with magic. I guarantee Dr. Fate could pull it off, and John Constantine could too, although you're definitely losing your soul to a demon lord in the process. Any of those would work as the fusions that I've whipped up here today. But that said, there actually is already an existing fusion method in DC Comics.
Really?
You might have seen this guy before, a fusion between Batman and Superman from The World's Finest, my favorite comic, by the way. Here, the two were when they used their combined willpower.
Hold on. I don't know why we lagging, y'all.
Here, the two were joined together temporarily when they used their combined willpower to steal a Green Lantern ring off of a mind-controlled Hal Jordan. By combining their wills, the ring combined them into one being. And it was sick, although temporary. We never got a name for this guy, but Superbat is pretty common. I think the artist calls him Man-Man. Anyway.
I need y'all to do better than the artist. Yeah, you go ahead, drop it down below. What? Some of these names are egregious.
This method could work to fuse all these characters together, but I'd prefer something that doesn't also include Green Lantern energy, so these fusions stay as organic as possible. I just want 2 characters' influences, not 3. And plus, if I went with this, I wouldn't have anything to design for this final fusion. Speaking of, this is what you get when you cross the last son of Krypton and the Caped Crusader, Crypto Knight. As best friends and the world's finest, Superman and Batman make for an unstoppable fusion. Unrivaled Kryptonian strength with Batman's top-tier combat skills, with the benefit of Bruce's Tibetan monk
and watch
training
this.
And complete mastery over the body.
I already know for a fact that a lot of y'all glazers out there for Batman gonna be like, if Batman was to have Superman's powers, he would be the strongest person in DC. I know it's coming. I know it is.
Crypto Knight controls Clark's strength with complete efficiency, always using the absolute minimum effort for every single task. He's able to make his powers last for months without seeing the sun. He can instantly pinpoint the weaknesses of giant machines and monsters with his X-ray vision and perfect tactical mind. And his telescopic vision lets him throw batarangs to hit targets on the other side of the country. When he a similarly powerful villain like Mongol or Parasite, he uses his smoke bombs and stealth skills to take them down with just a handful of precision strikes, attacking from the shadows at the speed of sound, never getting hit or letting any damage come to his surroundings. I went with Crypto Knight because I think it's pretty clever, but I also actually thought up of a ton of different names to play with the light, dark, and sun-moon aesthetic. Dawnbreaker, Dark Star, Midnight Sun, Light Knight, Night Light, Batman bin Superman, and of course, Nightwing, which actually would have been perfect if it weren't already taken. But unlike Nightwing, Crypto Knight isn't a happy-go-lucky jokester. He has all of Clark's outward kindness and confidence, but tempered by Bruce's quiet, brooding nature, making him super chill, a man of few words who expresses himself through action instead. He issues simple commands to criminals: stop, don't.
So basically, he's nonchalant. That's what he's saying. We got a nonchalant fusion right here.
Wait. But he's also always ready to lend an ear to any civilian who has a problem or even just needs someone to talk to. He makes it his personal responsibility to protect both Metropolis and Gotham, always zipping back and forth from each city, never slowing down. And while he doesn't use Bruce's scare tactics, he knows how intimidating he can be, and will often prevent crimes just by standing nearby, menacingly with his arms crossed. And the scariest part to the criminals? He's always smiling.
Out of all of these, I would have to say that the Flash fusion is probably my favorite one. The one with Flash and Superman. Y'all let me know what y'all favorite fusion ones out of all of these were. And yeah, bro, I'll see y'all on the next one. This was a dope video right here. Hey, if you like the video, then like the video. And if you want to see more reactions, subscribe. I love y'all.
Shout out to my twin. Ain't never seen tears from a gangster, so why the world want me to cry? Fighting depression, talk to them spirits, use them judges that help me get by. But I cannot lie, yeah, that shit hurt me bad when I got that call, told me you died. Like how the fuck can they take you? Man, I hope I wake up, it's a lie.